Good afternoon, it's Robert and Julia Miller with Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
So exciting. On this fine, what is today, Thursday?
Thursday already, this week has flown by.
Unusual day for us to do an update, but yet here we are.
Yeah, better late than never.
Better late than never. So we're Robert and Julia Miller with Rethink Real Estate, and we make these videos to help you make better decisions in your real estate purchases and sales.
And we focus specifically, we will look at some national, but we focus primarily specifically on the Valley and what the statisticians are reporting and what we're seeing and trying to forecast.
Yeah, Phoenix Valley real estate. Yeah, so we hope you find these videos helpful for the West Valley of Phoenix.
And if there's anything that you'd like us to research or to talk about on these reports, please let us know. Feel free to email or call us. And also, please like and subscribe so we can continue to grow our viewership. So we'll start out with a little humor, a little history. We're both history buffs and majors, so we enjoy looking back in time at what happened during this week and years past. We'll review a little bit of news. This session we're going to go over the STAT report. That's the from Tom Ruff and the information market, and we're also going to touch base on some commentary by Michael Orr of the Comfort Report. And then we'll review rates, and then we'll wrap it up with local inventory.
All right, let's jump right in.
All right, you got a joke for us?
I do.
All right, lay it on us.
When people say enjoy them while they're young, they're not talking about your children. They're talking about your hips and knees.
Yeah, I saw that.
So true.
So true. I'm along those lines right now.
Yeah, every year it seems like around my birthday, oddly enough, and maybe it's just I'm more aware of getting older. It seems like every year there's a new gift.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it makes noise. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so in recognition of the two additions that we just made to our family, Jax and Casper, we picked up two somewhat elderly cats, not too old, 4 years old.
They're
adult.
4 or 5-ish. Well, 4, actually, August 2019 is when they were born. So, yeah.
So they needed
they have a birthday month this month,
They needed a home, and we needed some more companionship. So picked up a couple of new cats, and they seem to be settling in.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's my
Cats
joke.
from the Barn House.
Yes, from the Barn House. Great organization.
Great
wow.
rescue.
She really, she has a lot going on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, she runs a great adoption program.
Hi, Cassidy.
Okay, the cat owns the house. That's why the word homeowner has meow in it.
That's cute. That's cute. Both a little bit of real estate humor and little cat owner humor.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's move on, touch on a little bit of history this week. This is Julia's favorite get on my soapbox. In 2006, Pluto is reclassified as a dwarf planet.
Yeah, I don't think this should have happened.
August
to Pluto.
24th by an international consortium.
I disagree strongly. I think it should be re-upgraded to a planet, not a dwarf planet.
Okay. Doesn't have anything to do with you being short.
No, but now that you mention it.
All right. 1990, on August 22nd, angry smokers block Moscow streets to protest cigarette shortages.
There you go.
See if
Nobody wants to get in the way of
should
an
have
angry
marketed
smoker.
as the Great Russian Smokeout.
Smokeout,
like
right?
we do in America, right? You could have put a positive spin on it, made it a
peaceful protest.
Too late now to think of that. Okay. 1949, on August 24th, NATO, a military alliance against communism, goes into effect.
And lives on today.
Yeah, adding members this year
members,
too.
yep.
1775, Britain's King George declares American colonies in an open rebellion. August
Yes.
22nd.
Yes, we were in an open rebellion against England at the time.
Finally, in the year 79, Italy's Mount Vesuvius erupts August 24th, burying 3 cities and killing 20,000 people.
Talk about catastrophic. Oh my goodness.
That was
That was
catastrophic.
huge over Italy, yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's move on to a little bit of news. Economic news. Bonds are on a seesaw. Many expected the end of the rate hike cycle, and I am one of those, but it looks like may not be correct. But in July meeting minutes, some Fed policymakers expressed concern about mixed inflation data. Futures traders now estimate a 40% chance of a hike in November. So
and this made me curious because I thought, well, what about September? Because maybe they're saying September and November, so we'll get maybe 2 more hikes before the end of the year.
And I have an opposite opinion when we get into the regulation portion.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, Fed's commercial real estate concerns. In the minutes released last week from its July meetings, Federal Reserve officials specifically cited declining commercial real estate valuations, concerned about their negative long-term effects on banks, and other financial institutions.
Yeah, and we talked about commercial being in a flailing type situation for a while now, even before pandemic, and then we have this whole work from home thing that starts happening. So yeah, commercial real estate's been
and you know, co-ops, as you had mentioned before,
co-work space type places.
To save costs, and you have to throw online shopping in there because a lot of people are. A lot less people are going to brick and mortar to buy their goods and shop for goods.
Yeah, even small business owners, instead of opening a brick and mortar or paying rent, are doing an Etsy store instead, or selling on Amazon and you know all these other things. Yeah, Amazon and Etsy probably take a percentage of their sales, but it might be better and easier than opening an actual store.
Right, there's a lot of expense that goes with that, so I think that's going to continue to be a concern.
Yeah. I think you're right.
You know, for the foreseeable future.
And maybe it's a way that the housing crisis can be somewhat answered too, changing some commercial buildings into multifamily.
Yeah, they've talked about that where there's severe housing shortages converting.
Just converting buildings that aren't being 100% occupied or even 50% occupied for commercial. So, yeah.
Okay, moving on to housing news. Mortgage applications dip. That's no surprise when the interest rates keep going up. Higher mortgage rates continue to damp down both purchase and refinancing activity. However, this is interesting.
Give us the highlight.
Housing starts are up, but they're not financed. They're cash. Privately owned housing starts rose 3.9% in July, which stands to reason if mortgage applications are down, housing needs are still there. So cash is going to end up coming into play. So that's really no surprise. It's good news, but it's just kind of.
I'll take you on a side note too. You know, a lot of the builders are offering great finance rates to help ease the thought of having a 7% interest rate. They're offering lower interest rates.
Yeah, home builders are taking advantage of the stall in resale, and they are pushing people out of resale and into new home construction. So we are seeing some positive there due to this interest rate.
And with that, we'll take a short commercial break by saying call us if you decide to go into a new home sales office.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll see that note on the door that says your realtor must accompany you. So we make those services available to people.
There's no cost to you, so it's just having another set of experienced eyes to go in with you. There are many structural selections that we would recommend you make because you can't make them later, or you can't make them without a huge expense compared to what you can get them as a basic upgrade
Right.
to your structural choices.
Mhm.
And you know, and then we tend to look at things in the future. You know, you're
Right.
going to possibly sell this home in 5 to 7 years. So,
Mhm.
what are the things that are going to be attractive to a buyer in 5 to 7 years? It's
Right.
going to get you more value when you
Mhm.
do get ready to sell the home. So, call us free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
We're paid by the builder.
We're there to be a service to you.
Yeah, it
you know,
just
so.
makes total sense to bring us along and let us help you.
And we'll walk you
make
through
good
the
choices.
process. Yeah. Back to the news.
Back to the news. Regulatory news. Economist survey. Now, this I was telling you that we get an opposite opinion here.
Okay.
60% of economists polled by news agency Reuters believe the Fed is likely done raising interest rates.
I don't always like Reuters. I'll throw that out. They get it wrong a lot. But, all right.
This is just a survey. They're just
just a
asking experts, so it's
True.
really not on them in this case. It's what are people predicting.
Okay.
Anyway, I just thought it was ironic that
It
you
is.
got
You've
some
got-
people saying we're going to get another rate hike because of what's happening with
Yeah.
bonds, and then you have a survey and they say no, they're done. So
60% think they're done.
who
but,
knows?
Yeah.
We're predicting the future.
All right.
All right, their median estimate on the likelihood of recession within 12 months fell to 40%, and that's the first time it's below 50% since September of 2022.
Yeah.
So,
And we talked about, Jerome Powell keeps saying, and he's been quoted a couple times saying, soft landing, I think, is what the Fed's goal is. So kind of brushing a recession, but not actually going into one. And that, I think, is what they're going to say by the end of the year, really, maybe even the first of next year. Well, we've done this soft landing. We've come out the other end, and we're finally making a recovery. We're finally liking the numbers that we're getting from these recession
slowly
meters,
and painfully and
very slowly,
excruciatingly slow, but
yes,
it's not a major crash, and it's
right.
not unemployment's good, and
Yeah.
people are getting through it. They're not liking it. I'm one of them, but
Right.
But
here we are.
at least we're moving
We're
forward.
hanging on through it, right?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the stat report, which if you follow us on a regular basis when we cover this, it's going to sound very redundant, but it
Somewhat.
is what it is. It's the black and white numbers, and that's what we like about it is we're not, putting our personal opinion
We will
and
give you our
predictions
opinion as
on
we
it.
go through it,
It's
but
just these are the numbers.
These are
This is
numbers,
the
yeah.
black and white numbers. This is what they are. They come straight out of ARMLS. So
Yeah, so the stat report comes from ARMLS, which is the Arizona Regional Multi-Listing Service.
right, and
So
this
it's
is
statistics.
Tom Ruff of the Information Market.
And we'll get to
very-
his commentary on those stats at the end. It's funny, so
Yeah,
hang in there.
He always
Hang
has
in there
a great,
with the numbers, around the
a great
numbers.
sense of humor. So.
Yeah.
All right, so just blowing through these real quick because it's pretty easy. Sold listings are down. New listings
Down.
are down. Active listings
Down.
are down. Under contract listings, guess what?
Down.
They're down. Okay, month supply of inventory,
Aha.
1.80. Now normally, again,
Less than 2 months
historically,
inventory.
3 months supply is considered a balanced market.
Mm-hmm.
So with only 1.80 supply, that puts it into the seller's market.
Yeah, it's easy
And,
it's easy to demand your price or demand market value if you're the only show in town.
Right.
If you're the only
there's-
house like that buyer is looking for. Here's my price.
You know,
Here's
you
what
got
the market says should bear.
yeah, you got Trilogy at Estancia. They got 3,500 homes there.
Right.
They have 17 homes. for
17
sale.
homes.
So it's very difficult for you as a buyer to demand a much lower price when there's probably only 1 or 2 homes that you're interested in.
And by the way, another side note, I'm derailing you a lot today.
That's okay.
We have buyers looking for specific homes in
Yes.
Trilogy. So
Yes.
please, if you have a specific home, and they're mostly larger homes that they're looking for, medium home, one particular buyer that I'm thinking of, and then the other buyer is large home on a view lot, golf course or wash lot in Trilogy specifically. So
The same with Sun City West. We have a couple of buyers looking for specific homes in that community
There you
too.
go.
So let us know if you're considering making a sale.
now back to the stats.
Okay, so new list price is down, but we're going to talk about that here.
Yeah, we'll talk
a
about that
minute,
more.
when we get to the Cromford report review, which is coming up shortly.
So it's sounding like all these numbers are down. All this
Right.
is bad news. And keep in mind, most of these numbers are year over year down, which
Right.
we know.
Right. Sales prices down, but
Sorry.
you're enjoying
I'll try to
this
behave
a little
myself.
too much. Days on market also down, 38 days on market, and that's again because there are so few homes available. Anything that's really nice, really well priced is gone. You know, you heard that before when we were way up here in at the peak of the market.
Right.
You know, if they're not very attractive, they're still going to sit on the market for a while, but anything good is gone in a flash. So
Absolutely.
days on market is running about 38. All right, let's move on to Tom Ruff's commentary.
Okay.
It's pretty kind of funny. He's talking about the sun rising and him getting up this morning. He said, first, I predict the weather when I predict our local housing market. My predictions have been on fire, practically flawless. In my best cursive, I write today's forecast, sunny and hot.
Sunny and hot.
Confidently turning to real estate, I jot more of the same. Weak demand, falling supply, stable prices, seller's market.
Seller's market.
Now it's time for breakfast. A real estate influencer out of Austin has forecast another 2023 housing collapse for the Phoenix market.
What?
He is so enthusiastic and authoritative during his presentation that it's hard to imagine how he always gets it wrong. He's now at his office. I know instantly my projections for the day are spot on again. It's sunny, hot, and demand and supply are both showing further weakness.
Yeah.
I just realized I'm writing the exact same stat report I wrote in May and June. The only difference, it's about July. Oh my gosh. So, as we went through the stats real quick, he just kind of summarizes them all here. Monthly sales volume is down 20.4% month over month.
Month over month. Yep.
Down 3.1% year over year. As you remember, things started dropping about May of last year. So now that we're looking at June numbers, July numbers, we're going to start seeing a more balanced comparison. We're actually only down 1.1% month over month and 4.1% year over year. So those numbers are going to keep dropping. New inventory though is down 39% year over year, and total inventory is down 31% year over year.
Oh boy.
Wowzer.
Oh boy.
To best explain these numbers, let's look no further than Michael Orr of the Cromford Report. Okay, here he's quoted, comparisons with this time last year continue to get easier as a year ago the market was deteriorating quickly as institutional investors and iBuyers pulled out of the market. Now we have a resale market which is plodding along slowly with poor demand and weak supply.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying pretty much the same thing. At the time of writing, the typical 30-year fixed mortgage rate is up to 7.20%. So affording to buy a home just got a little harder.
A little harder.
Selling
yeah.
an existing home with a mortgage looks even less attractive. So new MLS listings are arriving in very slow numbers,
Right.
as they have done all year long. So far in the third quarter of 2023, we have seen 7,447 new listings. The equivalent number of last year was 12,439.
Right.
And in 2021, it was 11,712. We are down 40% from
40%.
last year, and down 36% from 2021.
Yeah.
So, some badly informed observers still think there is a bubble popping situation ahead, but they completely misunderstand the situation. For prices to fall, we have to have an excess supply compared to demand. There has to be an imbalance.
Right.
Even though demand is very weak,
foreclosures.
supply actually got 2.6% smaller
Yeah.
over the last month. So even though demand is weak, supply got even worse.
Yeah.
There is very low delinquency in residential real estate lending right now. Another thing you have to have in order to have foreclosures, you have to have
right
delinquency.
Around 1%, if that.
There is no delinquency, so you
Yeah.
can't have foreclosures.
Right.
So it takes a ridiculous leap of great imagination to believe that foreclosures are going to have any significant effect on supply in the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Just not seeing it, folks. Just not seeing it.
The requirements of a crash just aren't there.
Yeah, again, for a foreclosure to happen, your lender would look at you and say, well, you have equity in your home. So if you're not able to make your payments, maybe we'll put some payments on the end of the loan, kind of, what do they call that? They call it a month or two, give you a month or two to get back on your feet and put those payments on the end. It's kind of a delayed payment. I forget what it's called. But
they just extend the loan.
Extend the life of the loan just by those 2 months. So, there's a lot of creativity that they'll do, knowing that you're sitting on $100,000 in equity or whatever it might be. So,
at least.
Yeah.
I think the average is over 200.
Yeah. So.
Okay, continuing on with Michael Orr's commentary. Pricing has been weaker since June, but this is just the usual effect of the hot summer months when the luxury market goes to sleep. Now, that's something we don't touch on very often because it's such a small segment. We don't really discuss it very much. So that was interesting.
The luxury market hibernates for the summer.
Yeah.
Can't blame it.
With the Cromford Market Index near 160, we talked about this, 100 being perfectly balanced. Anything over 100 puts it in a seller's market, so it's pretty deeply in a seller's market at an index of 160.
Right.
We have a seller's market where overall pressure on pricing is up, not down, despite the lack of enthusiasm on both sides of the negotiation. Once we get to the end of September and it starts to cool down, the luxury market will be fully contributing to the price numbers again, and we will probably be reporting positive annual appreciation once more.
There you
so
go.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Now keep in mind, and I'll quickly point this out, is there is appreciation from January 1 on. We talked about that in our last report while we looked at the Cromford Market Index. However, year over year, we are down. So we know that.
Yep. All right. So in conclusion from Tom Ruff of the information market, even in markets where there's a limited number of homes for sale, you still have transactions.
Oh, yeah.
The real estate world isn't just shutting down right now. When we post the ARMLS active listings database to our public records database, we can see who's selling. We can see the 3 Ds. You've got death, divorce, and default. We can also see the 4th D, which is discretionary. People that are relocating away from Phoenix. Many of today's homeowners are disincentivized to sell because they're locked in at rates substantially lower than today's prevailing rate, causing listings to plummet. At the exact same time, rising prices and a record high interest rates are dampened affordability and in turn demand. Like a broken record, August housing transactions and weather will look a lot like July. So
right. It's
we're
just it's
probably-
August and we're like, come on.
Yeah.
When can we be done with summer? Well, you got another month and a half to go, sister. So
And real estate's going
hang
to
in
follow
there.
suit. We're probably
Yeah.
going to just be reiterating what we've just talked about here and for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
It's just going to continue.
Summer's a good time to buy, but sales are still slow. You can definitely get a bargain in the summer, is what we say, time after time. You'll see more listings coming to the market in the fall, and then again even more in winter, January 1 for Arizona.
Right.
But yeah,
We are the land of the snowbird.
that's right.
The leaves don't change, the license plates do.
Right.
All right, moving on to rates. They did go
do
up
we have
again.
to?
30-year went from 7.014 up to 7.217.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. 15-year 6.497 up to 6.707, and the VA 6.721. We're now at 6.994, just a tick under 7.
Oh wow. Okay.
Inventory continues to be flat, just very slight uptick. Valley inventory is now at 11,596, very historically very low.
Mm-hmm.
Peoria has 339 homes available, and Surprise has 634,000
Peoria
homes
is
available.
really neck and neck with last week's numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a little closer to home, Trilogy at Estancia, as I mentioned, there's only 17 homes available. Your prices are the most affordable, $519,999. Most expensive, $1,195,000. Took a look at that 1 million home.
Yeah.
Estancia Village, there's 32 homes available. $420,000 is the most affordable. $1,125,000 tops the list.
Okay.
Blackstone Country Club, 7 homes available, $799,000 the most affordable, $3,280,000 the most expensive. Portobello has 8 homes. Boy, that's not very many for a community that big. $454,900 the most affordable, $919,000 the most expensive. The Grand has 71 homes.
Oh.
$260,000 for a condo. There's 2 of those available right now.
Okay.
One of them is fully furnished, but the fully furnished I think is just a tick under
Those
$300,000.
are great vacation spots.
Right.
In the Grand, because you can use the amenities there at that condo community, but it's part of the Grand, so you can use the main amenities as well.
Yeah.
So.
It is pretty expensive to
It's
get in
expensive,
up front.
But you don't have maintenance as far as roof and whatever
Yeah,
else.
yeah, everything is covered.
Landscaping, all that's part of the HOA. So.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are advantages, especially for snowbirds that just don't want to
Yeah.
have to deal with anything when they're not around.
And you can rent it out too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, the highest at the Grand, $1,025,000. Okay, Westbrook Village has 16 homes available for sale, $330,000 the most affordable, $635,000 the most expensive. Just amazing how tight that range is. I know I say that a lot, but it just still fascinates me.
Yep.
Sun City West, we have 93 homes available. Price range $190,000 up to $819,950.
Okay, that's pretty healthy. We'll take it.
A little more specific, Sun City West golf course homes. There's 7 available. The price range $350,000. That's one of the beauties of Sun City West. You can actually get a home on the golf course for under $400,000.
Nice.
And the most expensive, $819,950. Sun City with a pool, still not a lot of those, but there are 5 available. $379,000, the most
A few
affordable.
to pick from.
What's that?
A few to pick from.
Yeah, $588,000, the most expensive. There were 74 homes sold in the last 30 days in Sun City West. The average sale price was $399,833, and it continues the same, 98% of list price. So buyers, you can expect to pay about 98% of the list price.
Yeah.
Sun City West active, the average home price is sitting at $409,427, and that puts the cost per square foot at $225.92.
Not bad. Not bad.
All right, that is your report for this session. Everybody have a blessed rest of the week, and we will come back with another report in a couple of weeks.
See you
Take
soon.
care. You got a new battery in?
I do.
Okay.
A new battery. Oops, forgot the door.
We got blue lights.
We do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, both have blue eyes. Is it bouncing? Can you tell?
What do you mean?
The volume.
Oh.
You see the little line bouncing?
No, I don't. Oh.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, I think I see it.
Let me see.
Are you saying it?
Yeah.
Okay.